What's up, baseball fans? Frank from Frank's Card Corner here. Today we're going to take a look at a binder that I have of miscellaneous and starred New York Yankee cards. As many of you know from watching the channel, I am a big New York Mets fan, and I am from New York, so I have two albums actually. I'll be doing another video of my Mets album as well, but today we're going to take a look at the Yankee album. I have some stars in here, and just some miscellaneous cards I've saved over the years of regular everyday players that are just to reminisce and look at. So let's take a look. We start off with Hall of Famer Goose Gossage, just recently elected to the Hall of Fame. There's some early 1980s cards of him, and there's a 1990 Donruss card of him right there. 1981 Kellogg's 3D Superstars. Going back to the 1970s, there's a 1977 Mickey Rivers and 1977 Willie Randolph. These are 1979 cards here. We have Luis Tiant, Ed Figueroa, another Rich Gossage there. Getting into the early 1980s, Chris Chambliss. These are all 1980 cards here. 1981 Bucky Dent and Tommy John Kellogg's 3D Superstars. Here's some 1981 Fleer Yankees. Bobby Murcer, Dick Howser, Bucky Dent, Luis Tiant. It's nice to look back on some of these guys who were even regular everyday players. Some of them really did have some good moments with the Yankees. Greg Nettles, Willie Randolph. There's actually an error version of this card where they spelled his name with a C. It was worth a good penny back in the day. It's pretty common now, but I remember when the card was first issued, it actually made the news on TV for a little while too. They were reporting it. A lot of collectors were after it. Getting into 1982 tops here, we have Bucky Dent, a Ron Davis highlight. Willie Randolph, Bob Watson. Moving on to 1983, we have Ken Griffey Sr. on the Yankees at this time. Steve Balboni, Lee Mazzilli, Oscar Gamble. Moving on to 1984, Greg Nettles, Roy Smalley, Don Baylor. I think he still holds the Major League record for being hit by a pitch. I think it was like 256 times in his career he was hit by a pitch. Crowded the plate. Here's some more 1984s, Rick Cerone and Rudy May. Moving on to 1985, we have Omar Marino, Dave Righetti, more Oscar Gamble. Joe Niekro. Some turn back the clock to Roger Maris, his historic season in 1961 where he hit 61 home runs. Ken Griffey Sr., Don Baylor, and Phil Niekro again. And moving on to 1987, here's some Donruss cards and Topps cards. Tommy John, Dave Righetti, Mike Pagliarulo. Good power hitting third baseman for the Yankees for a while. There's Billy Martin managing the team at that time. On to 1987, Dan Pasqua, Claudio Washington, Dave Righetti All-Star. Dave Righetti highlight card breaking the single-season saves record at the time. Tommy John, Mike Pagliarulo. Moving on to 1988, Lou Piniella is managing the team at this time. There you see his managerial card. Neil Allen, there's a team leaders card of Dave Winfield and I believe that's Willie Randolph on there. Getting into 1989 now, Randy Velarde, Dallas Green now managing the team. There's Al Leiter, Dave Righetti. You could pause the video at any time. I'm just going to kind of keep moving through here. You could freeze and look at the cards at any given point. Claudio Washington, Rafael Santana, Tommy John, Willie Randolph. Now moving on to 1990, Bucky Dent managing the team. There's Jesse Barfield. Some more Dave Righetti cards. I believe that's Al Leiter's second year card right there. 1990 Fleer. This guy was a big prospect at one time. This is Kevin Moss. There's his upper deck rookie card. He shared his Fleer rookie with this guy here. Kevin Moss was supposed to be Don Mattingly's replacement. He set a record for like hitting 10 home runs and 70 at-bats or something like that. Kind of fizzled out a few years later, but he was a very big prospect with the Yankees in the early 90s. There we see Matt Noakes, another Kevin Moss card, Dave Righetti, Hensley Mullins, known as Bam Bam. He was a good prospect touted back then again. Kevin Moss, a couple of 91 Moss cards right there. Some more Kevin Moss. I had a lot of his cards. I was really kind of hoping he'd turn out to be really good for a while. Here is Brian Taylor. This is a 1992 Topps rookie card. This guy was supposed to be the next big pitcher for the Yankees, and he wound up hurting his shoulder in a bar fight and never even threw a pitch in the majors. But this guy was a very highly touted prospect with them. As you also see Deion Sanders there. Some more Kevin Moss cards. Steve Sachs, Paul O'Neill finally coming to the team, who would go on to win the 4 World Series with the Yankees later on in the 90s. There's Jim Abbott and Bob Wickman. Another whole page of Kevin Moss, Jim Leyritz, and a Brian Taylor card. Gerald Williams, I believe that's Gerald Williams' rookie card. Some more Kevin Moss and Paul O'Neill cards. Jim Abbott, Bob Wickman, Danny Tartable. Some more Paul O'Neills, Jim Leyritz. Getting on to the late 90s now, here's Joe Girardi. These were around 1997, 1998, these cards. Tino Martinez cards. There's an Andy Pettitte Star Quest card that was a Score Collector's Choice card in 1988. There's Tino Martinez, who I believe won the Home Run Derby that year. David Cohn, looks like they captured his card for pitching his no-hitter that year. On to the 2000s. David Cohn, Jorge Posada, Andy Pettitte, Paul O'Neill. 2001, here's Chuck Knobloch, Jorge Posada, and Scott Brocious. Orlando Hernandez. There's a rookie card of Nick Johnson, who was supposed to be their next big first baseman. He had a couple of good years with them, but I believe they traded him to the Phillies or some National League team. He spent a couple of years with them and just never did anything after that. But he was another good prospect that they had. Here's the early part of the 2000s. We have another Jorge Posada here. Yankees team card. Some golden moments of Bucky Dent and David Wells from 2001, the 2001 base set. Jorge Posada, Andy Pettitte. Some more Paul O'Neill. An Alfonso Soriano card. There's an Andy Pettitte Topps Gold card. Kind of hard to find. There's the 2001 Yankees team depicting the 2000 World Championship team. Some more cards from 2001, I'm sorry. Shane Spencer, who had another Kevin Moss type run with the hitting a lot of home runs in a short amount of time. Didn't really pan out to too much after that, though. The Mets had him for a while. He was kind of fun to watch for a short period of time. And here's some 2018 and 2019 cards here. Didi Gregorius, Giancarlo Stanton, Chase Headley, Luis Severino, their ace pitcher, and Starlin Castro. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you Yankee fans enjoyed this album. You can check out more of my really good Hall of Fame Yankees in my Stars and Rookies video. Check that out. And be sure to subscribe to the channel and watch my other videos.